So, YouTube Nation, I attended a swap meet last month, and of course, my vendor friend Jerry, who I've bought a lot of stuff off of, he had this locomotive for sale. He actually had two of the same locomotives, except this one was in slightly better condition. And I was going to do the servicing off camera, and when I scoured YouTube to see if anyone had serviced this particular manufacturer locomotive, turns out there weren't any, none that I could see. So what I thought was either an Atlas Kato or a Athearn locomotive. Turns out I was wrong, because now what had me thinking that I was dealing with an Atlas Kato was the two brass flywheels, and I mean I was suspecting the same for an Athearn, but then Atlas never made these trucks. And if you look close up, you'll see the words TAPP. They're on this truck and on this truck. And I had, I scoured, I searched, and as it turns out, this is what's known as a front range brand of model train. And Front Range had the remarkable reputation for being equipped with Mishima motors. The Mishimas were 12 volts, but getting to my point, the Mishimas are Japanese motors, and they are remarkable performers. So I figured, you know what? Let's do a video. So I had already removed the couplers, because in order to remove the shell, you have to remove the couplers, which is somewhat typical of the latter day Athearns and the latter day lifelike protos. And I would say this, I think I could say the same for the Katos. I'm not 100% sure. But in any event, I am going to switch cameras, and I'm going to let you see what's underneath this shell. Hold on. Alright, I'm not bothering with the run test, because when I tested this at the swap meet, it ran glass smooth, and I owe that to the Mishima. So I'm going to remove the shell. One other thing about this shell, it was the same thing, and this middle piece can come right off. So I'm just going to set that to the side, and you're going to see something over here, but I am just going to remove the shell. Take a look at that. This is a printed circuit board. This must have been how it was manufactured. You have a lead from each side of the truck, front and rear, and there's a wiper on each side of the trucks. Goes right to this PCB. You've got the motor wired here and here, and you've even got a soldered connection for the light. I might add an LED for a rear light. I mean, the shell is in very good condition. There's detail pieces in that shell that that LED would light right up. Now, if I wanted to, and I won't, but getting to my point, this is easily convertible to DCC if I wanted to go down that road, which I will not. You could probably place a decoder buddy right into this thing and then insert a decoder, and it's easy street. Now, my main concern is not the motor, because the motor is a wonderful performer. I will probably add a little air tool oil on the flywheels, and on the worm gear itself, here and here. But I need to get into these trucks. And the reason why I say that is because I'm going to try and zoom in. It's because there's some sort of funk here and on this worm gear. Lord knows what story the trucks are going to tell when I get into them. And this is going to be pretty interesting, because even though the literature is easily available on hoseeker.net, and I downloaded it, and it's known as either the GP9 or the GP7. I believe this is a 7. So I'm going to get right into it. Heaven help me. Hold on. Alright, for those who didn't see it, I dug my screwdriver, my slotted screwdriver into here. I may trade that out for a flathead screwdriver that isn't so intimidating. But I've already gotten into this, and I'm going to grab this guy, and out comes the worm. All right, worm comes out, and the truck should drop down, and Are we going to get a truck dropping down? Yep. All right. Hold on a second. I've got to work on my... Hold on. Okay, so the front truck is dropped off, is dropped down. Do you see the A that's on this truck? That's etched on this truck? It means this would be a clear indication that we are working on the front truck. When I get to the rear truck, I'm going to see if there's a B. Alright, I didn't intend to make that rhyme. And I apologize that I am losing focus. But let's dive a little deeper, shall we? Alright, so each side of the truck is pressure fit. I can easily, with a small screwdriver, reach in and take off the side frame. So the truck cover isn't off yet, but we could see the wiper right here. If I were to, now I could easily remove the wiper, this cover right over here to get into the wipers. What is that? Is that pencil shaving? Get off. Do we dare? Do we dare?
Dare.
That's off. There are the wipers. There's this wiper. This is the front engineer's side wiper. It looks clean. I've seen oxidation before. This looks pretty good. A little touch-up wouldn't hurt. Touch-up wouldn't hurt. With some contact cleaner. Now, if I wanted to go even further, I would have to remove the truck cover and then remove the wiper, and then removing the wiper, I would be removing the trucks, but I need to get in. I really need to get inside. And like in Atlas, there's a clip over here. There's a clip. There's a clip over here, and on this side as well. And careful with older locomotives because the plastic is brittle. Alright, truck cover is about to come off, and we're in. Now then, how do I get into... Alright. So, in order to fully disassemble this truck, we would have to take this cover off. But I could easily remove the trucks the axles right here. Orientation matters. Alright. So there's an insulated side facing me, and the non-insulated side facing away. Front truck. Rear truck. Keep those as they were. Going to remove the wiper. Alright, now to really get inside this truck, this gear tower, I will have to undo this clip right here. Do you see it or not? No, you don't see it. This clip right over here. And in we go. Alright, we are now inside the gear tower. and noticing the orientation. I have to clean these gears. These gears are filthy. Lord knows how old that grease is, how old that lubrication is. And I'm going to clean that. Put this this truck cover back together, and then I'm just going to undo the engineer side. I mean the fireman side off camera, and I'm going to do the same thing off camera for the rear truck. All right, be right back. All right, I'm going to interrupt the servicing and the rebuild so that I can show this to you. This is the rear truck of the locomotive. Notice how you see the letter B on this truck. Now, I had thought that the front truck would have been labeled A and the rear truck lettered B. Turns out it's the side of each locomotive. So the front truck on the engineer side was labeled A. On the fireman side, it's lettered B. Now, this is the rear truck. On the fireman side, you see B. But on the flip side, you've got an A. Now, how it's built up is you've got this clip holding the gear tower together. And there are gears inside here. There are 5 gears inside this gear tower, each gear tower. And there is a certain orientation. There are no registration marks on these, but I did see a slight design difference on each side of the gears, so I'm going to put the gears in that way. And when the axles are also orientation dependent. One side of the axle is insulated, the other side is not. So it's important to keep, it's also to keep in mind of the orientation when you put the axles back in. And how it's assembled is, you put the gears back in, you put the axles on, you secure the no, wait, let me go back. The gear tower. You put the gears back in, secure the gear tower. Then you put the wipers in, secure the wipers. Then you put the axles in, and then you secure the axles with the truck cover. And then you put the worm gear back in, and you connect that to the motor, and then you cover this up. So just thought I'd share that. Let's get back. All right, so this thing is put back together, and time to play the lottery. No wires came undone. So, I gotta count my lucky stars for that. So, everything is back together. With one exception, I have an LED light for the reverse direction. There's enough room on this PCB that I can easily accommodate it without anyone getting in the way. And so I got the power pack on for direction, and We're forward. And reverse. And there's the LED light. Nice and quiet. Listen to that. I got this on 20% throttle. The light's not coming. The light is dim. I kept the original front headlight. Nice and purty. Very smooth. So, next thing is putting the show back on and getting the couplers back into place. The couplers were removing the couplers was the way to get the shell off and into the guts of the locomotive. Strange thing that Front Range had done. Now the schematic. Now on HO Seeker, they put for the Front Range locomotive. There was a horn for the Geep 7. This is a Geep 9. There's no there's nothing to put the horn on. No little telltale hole, and it's like, hey, put it over there. And I've looked up various Geep 9s as far as where the horn goes, what type of horn. I would appreciate it if you posted a comment. Let me know what horn does this thing get and where do I put it, because as this thing, I don't know where they put the horn, or maybe the conductor went to the front of the locomotive, depending on if it was traveling long hood or short hood. Maybe the conductor went out and said, "Hello, we're coming. Stop your cars, don't cross the tracks." I don't know. You tell me. So I'm just gonna put the show back on and take it to the track. Be right back. Okay, so I have the Geep 9 on one of the DCCEX main lines. And the reason why I chose to run it on the DCCEX rather than the endurance track was because of how well this motor runs. I mean, it's not a Mahano motor, it's not an Athearn motor, it's not a Rivarossi motor. This is a Mishima motor, which ranks pretty well up there with the Katos. So I figured give DCCEX a chance. And you may also notice that I renumbered the locomotive. When I bought this locomotive, it was it had an 880. There must have been a fourth number, but that number was scratched off by the previous owner. And in my research of Pennsylvania GP9s, the roster, or several locomotives in the roster, began with the number 7, and the number 1. 7 more. Actually, they began with the number 771. So I renumbered this locomotive accordingly. And I do have this thing ready on engine driver. And I'm going to apply some power. Let's go. So we're at speed step 4. It's starting to hum. Speed step 8. Speed step 12. 16. 20. 24. 28. Will it respond to 24 or no? Yeah, it'll run at 24. And off she goes. Look at her. Look at that really nice crawl. So now I'm going to stop it. I'm going to put it into reverse. And speed step 4. And already the LED lights are coming on. Speed step 12. Speed step 16. And we're moving. Nice glass smooth. Look at that go. Incredible. And it is on speed step 20. Impressive. Let's go to 24. Impressive. All right, I'm going to stop it, put it into forward, and I'm going to let this thing open. I'm going to open this thing up and let it do its thing. And I'll be back with a pull test. Well, she's pulling pretty good. The manual said that I downloaded off of HO Seeker's website was that you could add weight to the locomotive in a certain spot, but there is considerable enough heft in the locomotive. I mean, that is to say, it is weighted good enough that I don't feel the need to add additional weight. And considering that these are rather heavy cars to begin with, you could see on engine driver that she's at speed step 48. So I'm impressed. And I'm running it long hood forward because that LED looks really nice. At some other time, I will replace the bulb in the on the short hood end. And the caboose disappeared. Hold on. Well, despite the caboose misbehaving, and I'm going to have to take a look at it, because even with changing the trucks and the axles and bending the trip pins of the couplers, I'm going to have to take a look at it at some other time. But I am a very happy camper. The Mishima motor is a very good performer, especially since it is a 12-volt motor. But still, I'm a happy camper. So, with that being said, I want to thank all of my subscribers for their continued support. If you aren't a subscriber, there is a link in the bottom right-hand corner. I am aiming for the 300 subscriber milestone. So please like the video, share the video, and as always, thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see you soon.